I never thought the loneliest moment of my life would be the day I brought my son into the world. My name is Emma Carter, 29 years old, from Columbus, Ohio. My husband Brian and I had been married for 4 years. That morning, my contractions started at 6 a.m. I called him from the bathroom floor, gripping the sink, and told him it was time. He said, "Okay, let me just run to the mall first. There's a shoe drop I've been waiting 3 weeks for. I'll be back before anything happens." I laughed, thinking he was joking. He wasn't. I called my sister, Catherine, sobbing through contractions, and she rushed me to St. Mary's Hospital in Columbus. 12 hours of labor, 12 hours of a nurse named Diane holding my hand because my husband couldn't put down a shopping bag. At 7:42 p.m., my son Ethan was born. Healthy, perfect, screaming into the world while his father was somewhere trying on limited edition sneakers. Brian walked into the hospital room at 9 p.m. holding a shopping bag, grinning like he'd done nothing wrong. Sorry, traffic was crazy. Did I miss it? Did he miss it? My son's entire birth? I didn't yell, I didn't cry. Something inside me just went quiet and cold. I looked at Diane, who mouthed, "Are you okay?" I wasn't, but I nodded anyway because some things you decide alone in silence. 3 days later, we came home. I watched Brian set his new sneakers on the shelf like trophies. Not once did he ask how the delivery went. Not once did he hold Ethan and say sorry. So I made a decision. While Brian was at work the following week, I packed. Not everything, just what mattered. Ethan's things, my clothes, my late mother's ring. I left a letter on the kitchen counter, not angry, just honest. "You missed the most important day of our lives for a pair of shoes. I won't spend the rest of mine hoping you'll show up. Ethan and I are staying with Catherine. Don't call unless you're ready to actually be a father." I drove to Catherine's house in Dayton with my newborn son buckled carefully in the back seat, my hands shaking on the wheel the entire way. Brian came home that night to an empty house, no wife, no son, no note left where he'd expect one. Just silence and a house that suddenly felt too big. He called 43 times that night. I didn't answer once. It took him 2 weeks to show up at Catherine's door, unshaven, holding flowers he clearly bought in a gas station. He said he was sorry. He said he didn't understand what he'd done until the house went quiet. I told him something my grandmother once told me. A man doesn't learn to show up by being forgiven. He learns by facing what he almost lost. I let him see Ethan, but I didn't come home. Not that week, not that month. Brian started therapy. He started showing up, really showing up. To pediatrician appointments, to sleepless nights when I finally did let him help, to the quiet, unglamorous work of being a father. It's been 8 months now. We're rebuilding slowly, carefully. Not because he apologized, but because he changed. Some men need to lose everything before they understand what mattered all along. I just hope for every woman lying alone on a hospital bed tonight that she remembers you are allowed to choose yourself, even when it's the hardest thing you've ever done. If this story moved you, you already know someone who needs to hear it. If you've ever had to choose yourself over someone who wouldn't show up for you, tell me your story in the comments. I read everyone.